starts with a question that still haunts many people in Kiambu. How does a marriage fall so apart that it ends up in something almost unimaginable? A woman disappears from her own home in Thindigua, a quiet residential area along Kiambu Road. One moment she's inside the safety of her house, the next, she's gone. No struggle had by neighbors, no alarm raised in the moment, just silence. Hours later, investigators will piece together a chilling sequence of events. Lucy Njambi had been taken, forced into a vehicle, driven away from the lights and apartment blocks of Thindigua toward the darker edges of Kiambu County, toward a coffee estate. If you've ever driven along Kiambu at night, you know those farms. Long stretches of coffee trees, narrow dirt roads, pockets of darkness where headlights are the only light for kilometers. The kind of place where no one hears you call for help. And according to evidence later presented in court, that is where Lucy was taken. What happened next was so violent, so deliberate that when the case finally reached the High Court, the judge struggled to describe it. In his ruling, Justice Joel Ngugi will call the attack brutish and sadistic. But even that description barely captures the cruelty investigators uncovered. Because this was not a random crime, not a robbery, not a stranger attack, and not a moment of sudden rage. This was something else entirely, something colder, something planned. Because the person prosecutors say orchestrated Lucy's kidnapping, the person who allegedly set the entire sequence of events in motion, was the man who had once promised to protect her husband, a local politician, a man who had stood before voters asking for their trust. But behind closed doors, investigators will later uncover a marriage unraveling under tension, resentment, and violence. And when that unraveling reached its breaking point, 3 people will come together to carry out a plan that ended Lucy Njambi's life. This is the story of Lucy Njambi, a wife, a woman whose life ended in a place far from home, and the chilling question her case leaves behind. How does a private conflict turn into a carefully orchestrated murder?